Would love to see what America's popularity poll would be on the Warriors right now. Who is rooting for the Cavs and who is rooting for the Warriors? I would have to think it's overwhelmingly that America is rooting for the Cavs. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with being unliked. I don't think there's anything wrong with being unpopular. Some of us get used to it. But the Warriors are embracing their inner villain, whether or not it's Steph's shimmies or Steph's celebrating or Draymond's emotions, and most importantly, KD's decision to join the Warriors. It's all added up to making them the villain in this final.
They're such a heavy favorite against everyone in the NBA in the preseason, and that was because Durant decided to join a well-oiled machine that had just won 73 games and came a possession away from going back-to-back chips. That's what made them the villain to some, in spite of the fact that they play the right way. Like, you know, all the Warriors are the Spurs with more talent. They're coached up perfectly. Vince Carter just said they're totally unselfish. It should make you like them. So they're not the villain to me, but in fact, one of the reasons they're the villain to some is because they don't have the bully on the team. There is no Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird kind of forceful personality that makes people feel like that's the kind of leader you're supposed to have. Too many guys who feel too unselfish and not killer enough to too many people actually makes them less liked than if they had a guy like that.
I just think of Steph and Clay as like the private school kids, and the Cavs are the public school.
But that's
never come across as villains to me.
That's the plot twist. That's a script flip. They've gone from plucky underdog
they're just not hard
likability
enough
to this, Marcellus.
Yeah, well, in a country where we love to build you up to tear you down, they've been built up so much that now we're at that point where we're trying to tear them down, and we're falsely labeling them as villains. They've been vilified just because of the hype and because of the success. Here's the thing. I'm going to give it to you like my Grandma Blackie used to give me. Max knows Grandma Blackie. Rest in peace, Grandma Blackie.
Don't tell me about the pain. Just show me the baby.
No,
another one? Okay.
I got another one. She says, great comes right before hate. Even in the dictionary, baby. So she told me as growing up, when you get great, look right behind it, because here comes the hate.
I like
that. Love me some Grandma Blackie.
She broke it down, and that's what's happening to this team, and I think that's almost telling that you are successful right now. This is a team that is getting hated on.
Oddly, Will also has a Grandma Blackie, and what was her response to that? No?
Why do you think I'm so hated? She's been giving me this advice all my life. I know Grandma Blackie. The only thing I take issue with, Marcel, is it's not a false label. We're not putting the villain label on the Warriors. I'm not putting it on the Warriors. I'm telling you what's out there. I'm telling you this is what's going on. We're just calling as we see it. This is the pulse of the country. It doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It doesn't mean the Warriors need to care. It certainly doesn't mean they're going to lose the series. I'm just telling you.
I get you the argument. They're just not villains. The babyface assassins never failed.
People felt it was anti-competitive. They were trying to stack the deck, and people didn't like it, just like LeBron in Miami.
So before we leave, we're going to break down Game 3. 3 stars. I'm starting with you, Max Kellerman. Who's going to be the third star on the court this evening?
Third star is going to be Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, as we said, because he's operating the way he is on the level he is, and given the fact that they're trying to guard the three-point line, making Steph and Clay the priority, Durant's going to put up big numbers.
Will?
Third star is Draymond Green. We haven't had the Draymond game in this series yet. Last year, we had a 32-point game. He's going to play defense. We know that.
Yeah.
But he's going to explode in one of these games. He's going to control the outcome.
His game travels well, too. I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Second star?
Second star is going to be Kyrie Irving. He is not going to...
There you go.
He's not going to go...
Kyrie.
Listen, I saw what he's about last season in the finals.
Yeah.
He's great in high-leverage moments. No higher leverage moment than this for them in this series.
And for him.
My second star is LeBron James. It's the king. Now, listen, everybody listen. There you go, Cleveland. Finally, I'll give it to you. Everybody listens with their heart. They don't listen with their ears. LeBron James is great. And just because KD, I'm suggesting, is passing him in the moment, just because LeBron James, you know, this might be a ding on his legacy should he lose this series, because I say all those things, that's not hate. That's just calling it the way it is. And here's what else I expect. Him to fully step up tonight and do everything in his power to ensure this doesn't affect his legacy.
It's just hard to see that you said the king, but then you put him at number 2. That's going to be interesting.
I like you watching the
detail. I agree.
I like you watching the detail.
Right.
I agree with everything Will just said about LeBron and what you just said about LeBron. Therefore, LeBron is the #1 star of the game.
There you go.
Max is MVP